Hello and welcome back to my channel. So the past two videos that you guys have watched have been Facebook Lives, and they're a little bit out of date because they're from last week. So I want to give you guys an update now. So this is being recorded in the future from when you're seeing this, but it's going to be more up to date than what you have seen. So you're seeing this during week 4. So what's going to be happening during week 4? I can tell you that. So week 4 is going to be external beam radiation still. So we're still doing external beam radiation. And we're still going to be staying at Hotel Red. So there's probably going to be more, we're going to be in the same room. And I'm probably going to be doing more Facebook Lives that you'll probably be seeing next week here on this channel. I'll be uploading them here on the weekend when I can. I can't do it from my phone during the week because I don't have a computer and the ability to do that during that time. All I have is my phone during that period of time, because we have one laptop and my mom's on that doing her thing during that time, and I'm not going to take the laptop from her to do that because that laptop was specifically given to her as a Christmas present for her to have the ability to have communication with people during this difficult process. For her to have communication with her friends and family during this process where she's not going to be able to be at home and be with her cats and be with, the things that make her comfortable during this when she's going through so much pain and discomfort and everything else. So we're going through another week of the external beam. So currently right now, a lot of things are changing in terms of my mom and how she's feeling and her symptoms. So I'll get into that for you guys. Week 3 was very, very difficult for us, both emotionally and physically, both for me and for my mom. But I think we're going to focus more on her, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about how this is impacting us kind of as a family and as a group, because we're kind of in this as a team. We call it Team Anne. That's my mom's name. So I'll tell you about her first, and then we'll go into how Team Anne is kind of coping with everything. So, Mom is to the point where her stomach is being really, really irritated by the things that she eats, and it's irritated in general. So because of that, she's wanting more bland things. So greasy things really upsets her. So she does not like anything takeout, or anything too heavy. So going into week 4, she's requesting oatmeal and like cream of wheat and just very bland things and a very small amount of those things. She's not eating a lot, but she is eating, and also she's staying with like soups. And she's eating them, but she's not eating like massive quantities of them. And then maybe she will have like a stew with like meat and potatoes and carrots. But nothing like, we are not having salads. There are no peppers, there are no beans, there's no broccoli, there's no cauliflower, nothing like that, because that irritates her stomach and makes her symptoms worse in terms of pain and potty problems and just digestional distress. We were told at the beginning that these symptoms were normal, that these symptoms would happen, that they would progress as treatment progressed. So it's not that any of these things are new or unexpected or abnormal. It's part of the radiation treatment that she is going through. But it is unpleasant, and it is what we're dealing with, and it's just kind of where we're at. So that's the update on that. She's also a lot more fatigued. She's also losing a lot of strength. It's a lot harder for her to get around. It's a lot harder for her to get in and out of vehicles. She's having a lot harder time. She's sleeping a lot more. It's taking a huge toll on her in terms of that. And so the general consensus is, when you're not having treatment, sleep, rest, don't stress. She's also becoming a lot more emotional because she's feeling a lot worse. But she is taking all the medications that she's supposed to. She is on medication to help her feel a little bit better and kind of help her mood a little bit better, because this is a big, huge strain on anybody. And so they gave her something for that. And she has an anti-nausea pill that she can increase as the nausea starts to get worse and different things. And we also have some pain medications, and they have a medication for her digestion. And we picked up all of these things, and they seem to be helping a little bit, but not as much as we would like, because of course there is no pill that's going to take the symptoms away completely. But they can ease it and make it a little bit better. So we've been working with her doctors to try to alleviate the symptoms, or at least ease them as much as possible. So that's what is going on with her currently, going into week 4. At the end of week 4, towards the middle, I suspect that these things might change. Some things may become more severe, some things might stay the same. I will definitely update people more in real time as we go along. Team Anne took some big hits during week 3. To give you guys a little bit of a recap, there was a lot of stress around the fact that at Hotel Red, they don't have a shuttle service. So that means that we had to have cabs, and with cabs, you don't have the same driver. There's a lot less reliability in terms of you have to wait longer times for cabs to show up. And that takes a toll on her kind of emotionally, and it just, there was a lot more stress because there were some communication issues, there were some software issues on the cab company's part one of the days, and it just meant a lot of waiting out in the cold. Because this is happening during winter, cold was a factor, so like weather was a factor, and dealing with cab companies and having to do the travel back and forth to the hotel, and just everything all together was just very, very rough. And so it caused a lot of stress for everybody, and everybody was just very uncomfortable not being at home. Kind of living out of suitcases was very, very difficult. And we were in a very, very nice, very generously provided for us suite in a very, very delightful hotel where the staff were wonderful. We were well taken care of there. Place at Hotel Red, which if you ever come to Madison, I do suggest that you go to Hotel Red for an anniversary for a football game, because it is very close to Camp Randall. So it is a very, very good place to stay. If you save in advance, it is worth the expense. They will take good care of you. They have a restaurant where you can either get room service from the restaurant, or you can actually go down and eat in the restaurant because it's attached to the hotel. I recommend it very, very much. It's a very modern feel in terms of the design, and it's very comfortable there, and the suites are just designed really, really well. I mean, it's really awesome. My boyfriend and I really loved it, really took to it very quickly. The beds are very spacious and really awesome, and like they have king size beds in like every single suite that they have. And they do have handicap rooms, and then they have regular rooms, and we were in a handicapped accessible suite, which was amazing for us because, you know, that helps in terms of getting up and down, you know, off the potty or in the shower or whatever. So that was fantastic for mom. And then my section of the suite in the bathroom there didn't have those things because, you know, it wasn't in the handicap section of the suite. Anyway, but the stress levels and stuff were, you know, hard. So we kind of took a hit, in week 3 that way, because as we progress in this, you know, it starts to take a toll on everybody mentally and physically. And, you know, mentally and physically for me, I have noticed that, it's easier for me to like get up and down the stairs here at my apartment. And I have like more energy for that and stuff. But you know, during the week, I just feel so exhausted because, you know, it's pushing the wheelchair and doing all the walking and different things. And, you know, physically, when I'm not so emotionally drained, it's been really, really good for my body, and I've been eating less and that kind of thing, and that's been really good for me. And I want to keep that up and I want to do that, and it's been really good, but I hate that those positive things are coming from something that's so not positive. So there are good things that are coming out of it, but bad things, because I've been very, very stressed and I've just been so tired that I haven't been really eating a lot. And there has been some good that's come out of that, but also I want to eat more balanced and not quite the way that I have been. So there are definitely some things that need to be sorted out and worked through, and I hope that I will be able to do that sooner rather than later. And I think that I'll be able to accomplish that. So those are some things that going into week 4, I hope that the good things will be able to continue and the bad things that I'll be able to fix. And because I'm cognizant of it, I have great confidence that we'll be able to do that. We're also going to discuss in our meeting, because we have a weekly meeting with the doctor, about week 5 and the transition, and when exactly that's going to happen. Because when we had originally spoke to her, it was going to be that week 5 was going to be the transition between the external beam would be part of the week, and then the other part of the week would be the internal. And now it's looking like that may not be the case. It's looking like it may be week 6. But again, we're not sure on that, because things have kind of gotten topsy-turvy. So I need to ask her that. And there's another appointment that we need to have. And I thought that it was outside the building, but now I'm thinking that it might actually happen within the hospital walls. So that's kind of cool. And we also have to reschedule another appointment. So there are these extra appointments on top of treatment. And since my mom's getting more fatigued and more weak, I have to figure out when we're going to fit those in, and they're within the same building at the hospital, but it's just going to take some time, and with cabs and everything like that, we have to figure out when we're going to do it. And considering that it's just my boyfriend Jared and myself helping mom out with these things, scheduling has been a big problem, especially since Jared has a full-time job and a part-time job on the weekends. We've really been struggling to fit everything in. Getting mom home on the weekends, from my part, financially figuring out how we're going to pay for the extra time for mom to rest, because people are having a lot of confusion why are we having all of these out-of-pocket expenses and where are those coming from, especially if we're getting assistance from the American Cancer Society and before that from the hospital. So I want to break that down for you guys, and kind of show you where some of our stress and strain and financial strain has come from and where the finances have gone. And then tell you a little bit about some of the things that we're doing to try to help alleviate some of that financial pressure. All right, so let's begin with that. So the financial things that we have to deal with before any of the medical things are, we still have to pay for my mother's rent on her apartment, and the cats' food and water and their well-being, because those things are things that we normally would have to do anyway. And we still need those things because obviously my mother needs a place to live and the cats need a place to be. And so my mother normally has an income, and that's taken out of her normal income. Okay. In addition to that, my mother has bills that are normal monthly bills. Those still need to be paid from her normal income. All right, so I take it that you're all still following me. So those need to be paid. So once all of those things are paid, right, there is a little bit of income left over. I'm sure you're all still with me, right? Well, now that little bit of income that's left over has been going to these out-of-pocket hotel days. So why are these out-of-pocket hotel days necessary? Okay, here we go. The hotel will pay for hotel stays on days that she's getting treatment. So if she gets treatment Monday through Friday at 9:30 in the morning, like for this, we'll use this week as an example. On week 4, every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, her appointment's at 9:30. But on Monday, you can't check into the hotel until 11:30. Her appointment's going to be done before 10:30. So let's say that the appointment, by the time she's done and we get to the hotel, is 10:30. That leaves an hour before we could actually check in. Unless we want to pay for an extra day. You've got to pay. But it makes no sense to pay for an extra day when you only need an hour, right? And it's a lot of extra stress to have your luggage with you to the appointment. Especially for us, because I need 2 hands to push her in the wheelchair. I'm by myself, and we're dealing with cabs, and cab drivers kind of are annoyed as it is, even the nice ones, to have to deal with the wheelchair and putting it in and out of the cab, and then dealing with the fact that it takes us so long to get in because it takes a minute for mom to get in and for me to get in. So we're kind of a lot to deal with as is, let alone a bunch of luggage. And with us, because we're staying for a week, it's a bunch of luggage. It's 2 suitcases, one for her, one for me, and then there's usually at least 2 or 3 grocery bags. Because we have soup, the stew that can be microwaved, there's usually paper towels, there's bread, there's peanut butter and jelly, there's a thing of water, because that's what we drink. There's usually a thing of orange juice, which is usually pretty big because she has those before treatment in the morning. And then there are a couple of power aids for me because I need the electrolytes so I don't pass out, as recommended by my doctor. But I'm the Powerade Zeros because they don't have the sugar in it, and I've noticed that I like the ones with sugar in it better, but they're not as good for me. But that's beside the point. So it takes up quite a bit of space, right? So we try 2 grocery bags, but sometimes we need 3. And then, it alternates. Like at first we had puddings and stuff, but now that's not good for her stomach, so we don't do it. So now she's saying that she would like some bananas and different things like that. So 1 or 2 grocery bags. So me with 2 hands cannot carry all those things. It's just impossible. And it would be too much. So what we started doing was, the night before, we would check in and we would pay out of pocket. And then we would check out under that account. And then we would check in on either the hospital's dime or the American Cancer Society's dime. And then this way, we would get to be there already. And then we could just take the cab ourselves to the hospital for her treatment and not have to worry about luggage and bags and all of those kinds of things, because I'm not an octopus and I only have 2 arms in which to push her. And this way the cab drivers aren't even more annoyed with us, and it's less stressful for everybody and less of a problem. And we have kind of like a home base for our things. And we always have the do not disturb on the door so that housekeeping doesn't go in, so nobody's worried about their things. And it kind of all feels better for everybody, if nothing else. So this is how we've worked things. And then on Fridays, and it also helps for her for feeling so weak, also that she has a place to kind of rest to prepare for the next day for her treatments as well. And it's less hectic and chaotic and rushed and everything else. So, and it also works with my boyfriend's work schedule because he works on Mondays. So he couldn't get up super duper early, drive an hour, and then drive an hour back, because that would be an extra 2 hours tacked onto the day before he had to go to work. And it would just be too much for him. He wouldn't get enough sleep. So this works out for everybody just a lot better. So that's one day. And then at the end of the week on Friday, checkout is like 3 o'clock. But my boyfriend wouldn't be done with his job yet. So he wouldn't be able to come and pick us up in time for checkout. Or no, checkout's like noon, something like that. Point is that we would miss it. Oh, that's right. Check-in is 3 o'clock. Right. And then, right, check-in is 3 o'clock, and then check out is noon. My point is that there's discrepancies in the times, and it wouldn't work out. So that we have to tack on those 2 days in order to make it work. And that becomes very expensive. And the problem is that rooms in this town, because it is a rather large city, are fairly expensive. Now, maybe not expensive to some people, or if you've been saving up, but when you've got your regular bills to pay and you didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this because your doctors kind of sprung it on you and were like, hey, we've got to do this. And you were kind of struggling to begin with financially, like paying your bills, but not a lot left over. This is kind of a big financial strain. And for us, it has been a big financial strain. And we did have the marathon and we did have the GoFundMe. But you have to understand that when we first went to when all this first started, we had pre-testing and things that we needed to do. And the cab ride from her town to the hospital was about $150 one way. And some of those days we needed it back as well. So that is about $300 both ways just for a cab ride. And there were a couple of those. So that started to add up very quickly. That was before treatment even began. Then there are some hotel stays. Now, some of the hotel stays, because it was tacked on, they gave us a break on. And some of them they have not. So the ones where we got a break on, they were around $110 a night. That's the discount ones. The other ones are more like $200 to $250 a night. There have been quite a few of those in the past few weeks. Those have added up. Then you have to count in food and gas and other expenses that go along with traveling, and she's needed medications. She had her nausea pill. She's had her the anti-nausea pill, the anti-anxiety, the pain medication. And I feel like there was something else we needed to pick up for her that was something that they suggested that she really needed. So there were like a lot of different medications that we had to pick up for her. All of these things have come from the money that we raised. And we went through it very quickly because of that, because it just kept piling up and piling up and piling up. And it has become more and more expensive because the places that the American Cancer Society has decided that we're going to go to, because you don't get to decide, they tell you this is where you're going to be for the week, are very nice, very beautiful, very wonderful hotels, but they're also way out of our price range that we wouldn't normally stay in. And so because of that, with taxes and everything, those hotels are really expensive. And so those 2 nights a week are really expensive. And so we are, it's really been eating a hole through, the funds that we had allocated for, the charity marathon. And so we went through those, and now it's to the point where we're going into what little we have left after the bills are paid. And so now it's to the point where we're going kind of paycheck to paycheck, trying to be able to afford everything. And it's really, really rough. And our friends who helped us for the first charity marathon are very concerned about this because they feel that with us going through the treatments as a family, as Team Anne, we shouldn't have to deal with that. And the whole point of the first marathon was to not do that. And they had asked us, you know, how did it fall short? Because we had thought that we had done so well. And so I had explained to them that, the hotels really add up because when you have $250 here, 300 there, 100 here, another 250 here, it really does total up very, very, very fast. And that's kind of been the case. It like sneaks up on you. I think the most expensive thing so far has been like $300 for just one thing. And so when it piles up, it piles up, it piles up, it adds up. And that's kind of the space that we're in. And then we just got word the other day, I think it was right before I did a Facebook Live, that on our birthdays, my birthday is on a Monday and my mom's birthday is that Thursday of that same week. We're actually going to be staying at a Hilton hotel. And so we're being put up in these very, very beautiful, very wonderful places, but they're also very expensive places and their locations are very expensive. Like it's in a very expensive part of town. They're in very expensive parts of town in the heart of the city, and it's more where they're located that make the cost, the expense go up. And so it's just very hard to keep up with that and maintain that while maintaining the other bills and obligations that we have. And so our friends want to help us out. And so we have the GoFundMe up, and I've been putting that up. And people have been kind of annoyed with me because they think that I'm just trying to bilk people or somehow defraud people. And I'm really not. And my mom is very concerned that people are going to think badly of her, or they think that somehow she's trying to defraud them, and we're not. So our friends have wanted me to explain all of this to you and break this down for you to let you know kind of what's going on. And they've also asked me to pass along that they are doing another marathon on Mom's behalf starting January 27th. So this, as you're watching this coming Saturday, they will be starting a charity marathon on twitch.tv. I will be putting the link down in the description. I will also be putting the contact information for the person who's spearheading it. Usually, when there is an Operation Nina, I am the person that is at the helm of it due to the history of Operation Nina and due to the fact that I am the one that runs it. Due to the nature of what's going on, I have asked someone to fill in for me, and she is doing spectacular. Her name is Brittany. Brittany is doing beyond wonderful. She's implementing some things that I have wanted to implement for years and just have never had the time or ability to do. If you are interested in casting for Operation Nina Code Pink Part 2, please contact her. I will leave her contact information down below. And if you are interested in donating or just simply viewing to show your support, I will leave the link and all the information down below. It'll be 24 hours for a week, like always, like all the Operation Ninas have been. And it's in support of my mother and her fight against cancer, because we have found out that it is 2 types of cancer that she is fighting, and the way that it's looking is they want to fight it more aggressively than we originally thought. So we might actually need more time away from home, and more weeks in which we are at hotels, and more weeks in which she is in treatment because they are going to fight it more aggressively. But I will be able to tell you positively what the plan is coming up here soon, because I definitely have a lot of questions for her doctor this week, because we're getting some conflicting information, and I would like to clarify those things for my own personal knowledge, for my mother's knowledge, and so I can give you guys a clear picture of the timeline as well, because I know a lot of you are very concerned and would like to know, because you guys are following along with us and you've been on this journey with us, and we want to be able to share that with you. So that is my intent. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's been a long one. I appreciate you all for sticking with us, and please subscribe to this channel. Click the subscribe button if you want to get notifications, and click the little bell if you want to get notifications when a new video goes live. It's your best way to find out up-to-date videos on this channel. There are going to be all sorts of different ones. Not all of them are going to be about cancer and what's going on with our lives and stuff. I know a lot of it is right now, and I'm sorry about that, but it's just kind of what's going down right now. But there will be things on other things. Not all of it will be serious and heavy. There will be some light stuff. There will be some stuff about makeup and things. Not only the makeup that I sell too, because I got this this really, really cute, it's called Sweet Pop. It's number 9. It's by Clinique. This I was given for Christmas by my boyfriend's aunt, and I kind of really like it. I'm wearing it right now, and I just wanted to put on something really, really simple and really, really cute, and I didn't have any time. I have no other makeup on. I haven't started my my Synergen skincare yet. I'm starting that literally tonight. I'm probably going to do a live thing from my phone at the hotel tonight about that. So that'll probably go up on this channel sometime next week. But and you can catch it on Facebook, you know, live. But I just wanted to mention that because I really do kind of like this shade on me, and I think there's a lip sense that is either close to this or exactly like this shade. It kind of reminds me of Aussie Rose. It really does remind me of Aussie Rose, and that's probably why I like this, because this is like my, oh my God, I have no time. I want to do this really, really quick, and then I can just wipe it off really quick. So like this is like my 2-second Aussie Rose. So I think it's kind of funny that this is like my my I need to do like a really quick video version of Aussie Rose. But I definitely between you, me, and the lamppost, I really do like the way that it looks on me. But I do not like the kind of flavor and having to worry about like if it's on my teeth and like all of that kind of stuff that comes with traditional lipsticks. But in a pinch, I do find it really cute, and I am liking it. So that's my honestness there for you here today. And I'll put all that stuff down in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.